And in this corner, coming in at a tight 60 minutes, it's the QueerCentric with your host, Queerly Johnny.
Hello to everyone. It is another amazing, wonderful, I try to think of different descriptive words, a fantabulous episode of the QueerCentric. We have taken a short little break and it's good to be back. So
Welcome back.
Thank you. With two amazing guests to bring us back in. I love this. And of course you'll get a big intro, but we have Mama Ocean, which everybody knows who you are, which I love, and Matt Danielson right across the way. Not to be confused with different names you can call Matt. That's all I'm going to say.
Call me whatever.
MD.
Yeah, right? Ooh, that's fancy.
Well, my initials are actually Mad, so.
Oh, there we go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Mad. That's what we'll just call you.
Mad Matt.
Can we
Mad
just call
Matt,
it Mad?
exactly.
Mad Matt.
Mad Matt.
So we're super excited to be back on. Thankful that everybody still has interest in our show, even though I'm like, it's been a month, I think. But listen, life gets crazy.
Yes,
That's all
it
we're going to
does.
say. But people are still like constantly interacting with us, and we love that. I do want to say there was an announcement made earlier today. I don't know if you saw it.
I did not.
Thanks to Spokane Pride, I think you did see it. They announced that I get to MC main stage of Pride, which for me is a big deal because I'm just the nerd guy that used to, like, from when I was super shy, would just go to Pride and be so afraid. So, of course, those days are long over, but super excited. So we got to officially announce it today.
Yay.
And been getting lovely, amazing feedback on it because, of course, listen, we like to call me a media whore. I just announce things on everything. Just like put it up. I'm like, Kurt, make a graphic. It's going up now. So we did that. So
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly, because we're going to talk. So anybody who's like, oh, what a choice, we're all going to blame Matt over here.
No,
It was all you.
it's pretty easy, honestly. I've done it like 7 times.
It's fun.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, completely. Oh, it's fun.
And can I just say,
done this
you are
before.
not just anything. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh.
Remember.
I love you so much. No, it's true.
Yes.
And it is an exciting thing, and I have hosted plenty of things. I know what I'm doing, but I'm excited because
I know
to
what
me,
I'm
it's a
doing.
big deal.
It's huge.
You know what I mean?
It's huge.
Also, there's so many freaking people
Well, yeah.
that show up.
We'll have fun.
It is going to be fun. I hear I get to spend at least the first hour with you, with me on stage.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be, because the first hour, there are a lot of complicated details.
Of
and-
course. Yeah.
You need to
so
be with a
it
veteran.
will be fun.
It'll be fun.
I mean, and I'm excited that you're taking it on this year because this is your first year to do it all with your board.
Yeah.
Just you and them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm usually just running the stages and doing the entertainment, and I've been on the board since 2017. But yeah,
Wow.
Esteban
See?
stepped down to run for city council, so
I
I had to take
know.
over.
I know. I'm
So-
excited. I mean, I just feel like you know what you're doing, so that'll be great.
It's gonna be good. I have paralyzing anxiety at times, but it's like,
Oh.
but then at the same time, I really do think it's gonna be the best one.
Oh, I
ever.
think it is. You sent me a note, and you said, so we were talking about, you needed to talk to the board and all this stuff. I wasn't concerned about it, and you said, well, I've talked to a lot of them, and they're fine. So, but I need to do this because I put it in their hands, and it was such a sign of respect as a leader
Yeah.
to do that. I'm like, I don't care, take your time, because I think that's cooler.
Absolutely.
That you're like, I'm not going to just make decisions and not
Oh,
talk
we're-
to the people around me, and that's a good sign.
We're a team. Like, oh my God, like that's what I told them before I consented to step up. I was like, I'm gonna need so much help.
Yeah.
Like
good.
I'm good at a lot of this, but paperwork, I'm afraid of spreadsheets.
Oh, yes.
Crap like that.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff.
See,
I
I think it's a sign of a good leader. You're listen, Spokane, your Spokane Pride is in very good hands. I also want to mention that, you know how you always get annoyed at those people? It's like, please subscribe and like.
Right.
But please subscribe and like. I'm just saying because
it.
people don't understand. That's really where it's at.
Right.
You need the social numbers to be I mean, there's so many opportunities because you're taken seriously and all this stuff. So I love everybody who's been stepping up because in December we started with 20. So
Well, and people
that
want to
has
stay
gone way
informed.
high. Yeah.
They want to stay informed. This way they'll
Right.
get updates and
Exactly.
yes.
And you get
we'll put it
crazy
in there.
weird pictures of me. Who doesn't want that?
They're very inspirational.
Right. See, thank you.
They always
God, you're
light up
so
my day.
good.
They always
I
light up
love
my
it.
day.
So please, you can find us on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, all those things. And I have to say, speaking of Facebook, Daniel, the intern over there, you've been doing live videos going live on our Facebook page, and people really like you, as
Awesome.
they should. But
I mean, of course.
of course, because you had on Barb Sylvie.
Oh yeah.
Everybody loved
Oh,
that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
See all of the rainbow stuff she has.
Oh, you don't even know. That's not even all. That's not all of it. She has that. She has a T-shirt that says, "What is it? Did you say gay? I'm in." I'm like, I need that T-shirt. But way to
I
go!
think I saw that.
Oh, it was so fun. And I wanted to say, so you're going to be on. You're on there a lot. You always announce so that they know to tune in.
Every Sunday or Monday beginning of the week. If you want to be a guest, message us at the QueerCentric. and
Right.
We'll get you on.
Awesome. Did
Listen,
you hear that?
very entertaining.
Message.
I know. Like, what are you guys doing?
Take control of your destiny.
He's gonna have a little schedule and come to you after the show and just be like, pencil you.
Oh,
I
good.
get
I'd love
emails
to
all
come
the
back.
time now. They're like, oh yeah, so I'm coming on, and I'm like, well, you know what? That's Christmas because I've given the whole month of June to Daniel, and I just need to be informed the week before.
Beautiful.
Because you're a segment producer now.
Awesome.
Listen, you can go from an intern and 6 months later be a segment producer.
Whoa.
If you stick around, because we have contracts, if you stick around, if you're that crazy, then we got stuff for you to do.
You're on the fast track, Daniel.
It's fun. So everybody say hi to Daniel the intern if you get a chance. Go check out the lives. We love it. Also want to say that I also traumatized Daniel this week in that we went to Atomic Threads,
Oh,
which I love
fun.
them.
Yes.
Such a great,
Fabulous.
yeah,
Yeah.
such great owners there. And
Yes.
so I needed to go in.
Yeah, Mike and Tina are actually on the board.
I was
I
going to
didn't
say,
know
they're
that.
involved, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
what I
them.
thought too.
What
they
aren't
really
they
are.
involved in? I email Tina every day and just to annoy her, and we just go back and forth, and I love it.
Because they're heading up the adult area.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because we're having we brand ourselves as a family-friendly event, so we're having a age-restricted.
But can I just say, I like that, yeah, we can be family friendly, but I also like that we don't forget that there's adults out there.
Yes.
No, I think it's a tough line to walk, especially these days with,
Yeah.
all the tension.
And blue is one of
Yeah.
the colors of the rainbow, so you could have a blue area.
Right?
Yes.
And I love that. I didn't know until I was talking to Mike that was going to be this whole thing. And I thought, oh, this is brilliant, beautiful. Let's celebrate all of the colors
Yes.
of the rainbow. Because I remember, I'm old enough to remember when I went to Seattle for my first Pride,
Wow.
that the things there were not what I see now. The porn booths and the porn stars, and it was amazingly wonderful. But it's
Pretty
not quite like
free-form.
that.
Pretty free-form
Yeah,
back
it was like I
then.
was in San Francisco. I mean, it was so awesome. We do want to give a shout out. They gave us a tour of the basement,
Awesome.
where a lot
did.
of they teach us a
There
lot
are
of
activities
yes,
happening.
kink. We don't kink shame, but I didn't
No,
realize. I
no.
turned around and there's this look on Daniel's face, like, what is happening?
What did I sign up for?
And I had just said, hey, Daniel, don't do a video yet, but we're going to want, and he's assuming I'm going to say, I'm going to need you to take some classes here in video.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what
I mean,
thought. I was like, take one for the team.
I'm like,
the waiver that you signed on the way down should have been your first clue.
exactly. But it made me so happy to see the look on your face and to see that you thought I would even ask you that. So people, you'll see a lot of Daniel in the future. And you can take that any way you want to do that. So thank you to our friends at Atomic Threads. And then we're almost there. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Is everybody aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very important month.
Keenly aware of.
Right? Which is why this show, I think, is very important as we begin to not only have great shows about mental health awareness, but talk about today's show, which, of course, is Healing Through Pride for you two. So I'm excited to start this. This kicks it off. We have a whole show with a local counselor and a bunch of stuff that's coming up next week as well. So this is great. Finally, last but not least, we want to thank the Fox Theater in downtown Spokane and Spokane Symphony for being kind enough to partner up with us so that we can I can get out my old trombone and pretend I can play again.
That's awesome.
And we can team up together and try to build awareness of the arts in Spokane. So thank you to everyone over there.
So happy to have them in our community.
Oh, amazing.
Every time.
Amazing. Have you guys been to, they used to do Symphony at Arborcrest.
Yep.
They always do their opening
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
sweeping. Beautiful.
Oh, well, and then the year I went, it was like this orchestra, they were playing Mozart and they timed this one big crescendo to the same moment that the sun set. And I was like, what witchery is this?
Yeah.
Because I love it. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. So remember all those things. If you ever need to know more about what's going on in Spokane and what queer-friendly things you can do, please do not hesitate to either go to our website, which I almost forgot what it was, thequeercentric.com, or go to our socials. But without further ado, my friends who are in here, we have Matt Danielson and Mama Ocean, as I mentioned earlier. We like to talk about bringing community together, and that truly is what these two do. Maddie is the head of Spokane Pride, putting together one of the most important events of our queer calendar, especially now in this world. And Mama Ocean, who I have had the honor of knowing for a very long time, not long enough, connecting people since she knows everyone and filling the world with her love in her professional and her personal life.
Aw,
I am very honored that you guys
so
are bringing us back
beautiful.
in.
Thank
You're
you.
bringing the show back on. And so
Getting the band back together.
Listen.
For the first time.
exactly. Those are my favorites. We want to start talking about this healing through pride. We all have trauma in our lives, especially if you happen to be queer. That tends to be at a higher level happening. And we're going to talk about the importance of celebrating and the importance of taking care of ourselves during this this month of mental health awareness, but through our entire lives. And to start with, talking about this celebration that we are very lucky to have so many people show up to. It's grown every single year, this
Yeah.
Spokane Pride. I really want to start with you, Matt, and talk about the weight of this beautiful event and what the heck, how much work is this? When do you guys start planning Spokane Pride?
I mean, I'm planning next year's right now.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
That makes sense. That
I'm-
makes sense.
I never stop thinking about it. Yeah, I'm constantly thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I never stop. So,
Wake you up in the middle of the night. Just
honestly, yeah, I am so sleep deprived right now. It's not even funny. Just,
I bet.
I've sent more emails in the last month than I had probably the previous 3 years.
And we're within almost a
A
month.
month from tomorrow.
See, there
That's
you
what
go.
I was going to say. It's the 10th,
And
is that
so,
right?
yes, yeah,
June 10.
Saturday,
Saturday,
June
June
10th.
10, everyone.
Do you schedule yourself at least a month buffer after all of this is done where you can spend time with you and yours and you can relax?
Usually, but we have some restructuring of the organization to
great.
do after this year because I think we'll finally be able to hire an executive director.
Oh,
That-
fabulous.
wow.
Because we're an all-volunteer board right now,
Right.
which is horrible.
Yeah. That'll
It's-
kick everything even into higher gear.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking with an actual person paid, I would like to
Right.
do Pride events throughout the year. I
Yes.
feel like everybody,
amazing.
I was actually talking to Kurt about this before. I think we need to partner and do some fun Pride events throughout the year.
What an amazing thing.
Just because, Pride, as you're saying, mental health, it's just
Yeah.
that beautiful day where you actually feel like you're in a community, but
Yeah.
it's one day a year.
Yeah, exactly.
We need
and
to
then it's like, okay, have fun
Yeah,
till.
we need to have more of that. We need to-
Absolutely.
'cause that's how we
And give
heal
people an
together.
opportunity in case they're out of town.
Exactly. And I mean, like this whole concept of I like to call myself a cheerleader, but you have to take moments to cheerlead yourself. So you
Right.
need these moments of sometimes maybe you have come out no matter what time in life you chose, and maybe you're not getting the support. It's very important to be given that opportunity to celebrate yourself and to be surrounded by like-minded people
That's
who
right. To
are
join
there
your
with you.
tribe.
Thank you. Exactly. I'm taking applications for my tribe currently. So that's what mental health is. Mental health is allowing yourself to believe and to take away all the noise of people saying what you are not and to believe in what you are, which is what you're doing. Do you?
No, I see Pride as a collective healing thing. I mean, it's been that for me individually, and I can see it in the faces of people there. I mean, everybody is so excited to be there. I was talking to Kurt about, the MC duties before. I mean, it's the easiest MC gig in the world. I mean, we'll talk
Right.
about this
Right.
in messy details
Exactly.
before.
But people want to. There's nothing like a crowd that's already bought into wanting to celebrate.
even
the
on
person at the-
Yeah.
even on Prides, I didn't feel like it. You just like Happy Pride. You get 1,000 people screaming back.
Yes.
Ah!
Exactly.
And it's suddenly you're just drafting off of their energy,
Yeah.
and everybody's
Exactly.
like this. There's this group catharsis. It's just so beautiful.
Exactly. So you have the weight of this. Let's say talk about when Esteban Herevia needed to step down to go do this other opportunity, and then you realized, oh, that means it's to be. What was that moment like?
Well, first he wasn't telling me for sure. He
Oh,
was like,
that
"Oh,
hurt.
I think they asked me to do that," and I'm like, "Okay." So I'm probably gonna do
Can
this.
see what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but No, as I said, I told the board I'm going to need a whole lot of help, but
Right.
and we have some really solid people this year.
And that's what a
And
board is for. It is a
no,
team.
Like I would be lost without them, but I have the institutional knowledge and a lot of the community knowledge, so they didn't want to do the terrifying things like your show.
I love that you would say that to me once. I'm like, have you been in there? It's a hot mess.
Yeah,
It's just we make it look good for you cameras.
Now Kurt's dancing.
So, he texted me. So back in radio days, we banned Kurt from dancing.
Oh.
Yes,
dancing.
He danced for too many of our guests. It was traumatizing. Talk about trauma. We'll talk about it later. You should go to Pride. It'll help. And he
Shake it
texted me
off.
that he was he was entertaining you with his dance. I'm like, oh no.
we'll have
Did
to make
you?
we'll have to make a little
We need a
dance
therapist.
for
It's going to warm up the crowd, right?
because I'll be playing. I'll have a curated playlist, so we can
Nice.
we can talk about that beforehand
love
too.
that.
Have
Fun.
I love this.
have some nice little songs
Well,
to dance to.
Who's
see, I
playing
love
this year?
that.
May I interject? Is
Yeah,
that
of
all right?
course.
Who, do we know
just
who's
the
playing?
bands.
Conversation.
Right, right.
Just local bands.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
the
Just
Angela
wondering.
Marie Project
Awesome.
and Atari Ferrari.
Good.
Oh, I was
ho-
hoping-
I was hoping they'd
Yeah.
be back.
I was
Yeah.
hoping they were. Gonna
Honestly, it looks a lot like last year's, and then a
Wonderful.
whole bunch of drag queens
Fan
and kings.
favorites and
yeah,
Kings and Queens.
play. Then we know how to do this. Then we are ready.
yeah. Oh my God, I have 5 stages to deal with.
I
too.
know you do. I was
I've just been tossing out stage time to drag queens left and right.
oh, that's their favorite thing.
They're like, oh my God, I'm everyone's best friend right now.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
take a half hour on the clock tower stage. Have fun with it.
Exactly.
So are there
You do you.
Are there opportunities for folks if they want to become involved, like really involved for volunteering?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I do believe we have that. SpokanePride.org/volunteer.
Very
Yeah,
important.
that was SpokanePride.
You didn't tell me to do that either, by the way.
.org/volunteer.
Nice.
Thank
I even
you.
have it. It's the next thing on my list is volunteers because I know
Awesome.
you guys. This is the time
Yeah.
to get in there and say.
It takes a
know,
village.
No, well, actually,
it takes a small city
It
with
takes
this
a
thing.
community.
Yeah.
guess how many volunteers we're going for this year?
I would say 300.
Oh my God! Yeah,
That's a
actually,
good
it's like
guess.
200.
Okay.
Oh,
I
see?
thought two, and then I
No.
thought, let's go over so that
Right.
people won't go, oh, they have enough people.
Well, I just saw
Listen,
an
never
article-
enough people.
I just
Right.
saw an article that Bloomsday had like 2,000 volunteers, which I
Wow.
thought was kind of weird.
What?
but-
Well, it has been going
Can
since
they
the
overflow
late
their
70s.
volunteers?
Like-
Like this
well,
is a
and
community
people might
event.
not show up and that sort
Right.
of thing. So,
So, when did registration open for volunteers, or when they can send in the form and say, "Hey"?
Oh, it's been open for a couple months now.
So
Actually.
what? So can you say kind of where you're at, what you have to
I
go?
think we have. Well, okay. So my board is being very organized this year, which is new for us.
that's awesome.
So actually, it's a process to get through. Especially a lot of the volunteers for like the youth areas
Yeah.
need like background checks, and that takes time.
Right,
We're like all official using this software
Nice.
that
Good.
just like organizes everybody. We have spreadsheets and job titles for everybody.
Right
It's
on.
That's beautiful.
a whole bunch of nonsense I didn't want to deal with. But
But see, that's why you have a team.
oh my God, they're amazing. But
I think that's amazing. Like, how many do you think? How many more should we push for people to do?
oh, I need at least 100 more.
I was
Okay.
going to say about
Done
100
deal,
more.
right?
See, am I on the board?
You are honorarily
I
on the
mean,
board.
I mean, let's see. Sorry.
I love it, and I can tell you in just a week's time. Of course, we've had a week since we've known, and so just trying to get. I just need 20 people. It's sometimes you got to really push.
Yeah.
So I feel for you. So we need to get Pride staffed. So if you're listening, say the website again.
SpokanePride.org
You need to
/
go.
volunteer.
See, I love this.
And if people are volunteering, they can volunteer for shifts, correct?
Yeah, it's all mapped out into different shifts. I mean, I still need some golf cart drivers. I'm surprised those haven't,
Fun.
because
Fun.
those
That's-
fill up the quick.
Everybody
Right,
wants
right.
to do the golf
No,
cart
it's super
driving.
fun driving a golf cart around Riverfront Park.
Yeah,
For
absolutely.
real. You feel cool, and it's like this little go-kart. I mean,
Oh,
That's where it's at.
It's great.
We used to have rides in Riverfront Park. This can be like that, only
see?
with purpose.
I think so. Just do they have to have a background check to drive the cart?
I don't. I think
Driver's
you just.
license,
I
I
think
would
you just
imagine.
have to have a driver's license.
Right.
This
for
is
that.
good. This
That's
is good.
current.
I'm like, how many accidents have you had in the past year?
jeez.
Okay, no.
I mean, most
Yeah.
of those are just going to be for ferrying those with disability issues.
Right.
that-
Beautiful.
Oh, see,
Because
good.
we're trying to
thinking of
be
everything.
trying to be
Yeah.
more accessible this year.
Good.
Which is so
good.
important.
Yeah,
Oh, I think that's amazing. I want to talk about also the theme of Pride this year.
Mm-hmm.
What a powerful, strong theme. So tell me what it is. Tell our listeners what it is, and then how did you guys come to that?
The theme is never going back, and
I love that.
Awesome.
yeah, it's
Right?
just-
Never going back again.
I mean,
Exactly.
with the the gay rights movement has had so much profound success. 2015 gay marriage being legalized, and it kind of felt like the end of history there almost.
Right.
But then it's trying to be chipped away right now, and it's like no,
No,
we're not.
340 something
Yeah.
legislation across our country trying to erase some part of us.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're not going to give any ground.
Hell yeah!
No.
See, it's such an empowering statement, even just to say "never going back." That I'm like, it makes you want to celebrate. What a great
I want to
thing.
sing it every time, but
Right?
that's just.
We should write a song.
I was
We
gonna
should write
say
a
we'll
Never
invite you
was it-
guys on stage
Oh,
and do
oh,
a
how
little
fun
number.
would that be?
Oh, it would be a blast.
Oh, I love it.
So, how did you guys land on that? Picking that theme?
Honestly, it was just us sitting around spitballing. I had some overly in-depth, complicated things, and then actually, I think this is when Esteban was still there. I think.
Oh,
I think they were like just. I don't even remember who did it, but it was like never going back, never going.
That.
Oh, that's almost too simple. Oh wait, that actually works really well.
Really well.
that's gonna
I do
work.
feel like there should be like 3 different songs because that just lends to some great music.
Peaches and Herb. No, I'm kidding. Fleetwood Mac. Didn't
Yes.
Fleetwood Mac have Never
Yes.
Going Back Again?
Oh,
So
okay.
many good
Right?
things, right?
Yeah. So
We
you
have to
could do
find
maybe
that.
you could do maybe 3 different eras.
Oh,
So do
that
a
would be amazing.
Since it's kind of the progression in some of our
Right.
lifetimes. A 70s and
see.
80s and a 90s version.
I think that would be amazing. I love this theme. I like to use it in any of the things that I hashtag because I'm learning how to use hashtags appropriately.
Ew.
Never going back. I know it's so hard. I'm like, what? But
I capitalize
hashtag never
in
going
hashtags.
back.
I know
I
that's
do
not right.
too.
I do. Because I want people to.
Thank you. I want you to read it. If it's part of what I'm putting down.
I feel like it's more clever.
I
and
did-
it does take more time.
Right. I did get a message today that said they noticed that I hashtag the word queerdo because I take that with pride.
wow.
That beautiful thing. And I've had more people say I'm stealing that. I'm like, go for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Take pride in ourselves. I'm a big old queerdo, and I'm very happy about it. One thing, so
So
we
are
started getting a lot of questions, and I hate this question, but it's important to ask. Tell me, people. I don't spend time living in fear. There's just no time for that.
No.
And it's not going to change anything. But
It's
if people are
counterproductive.
concerned about safety just because of everywhere around the world,
Yes.
what should they know from you guys putting this on?
Well, I mean, we have a plan. Like,
Yeah.
Right. You're like a safety
SPD.
No.
Yeah, no, we're in touch with the police.
Good,
We have
yeah.
a plan, and we do I mean, you can't foresee everything, but
No,
we're
there's
even
no way.
we're instituting a command center this year that's just
Awesome.
basically going to be like. I mean, my boyfriend's helping because he's a dispatcher for the fire
Nice.
department.
Oh,
Nice.
fantastic.
So just we'll have great communication throughout the festival if something's happening. Well, we have a plan with the SPD.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically said they'll if anybody messes with us, they're not going to get.
They'll
Yeah.
come out in
I wonder-
force.
So,
I've been
that's-
impressed
Yeah.
by
That's what they
their,
said. I'm like, how do I say this
presentation.
diplomatically?
Yes.
Yeah, they
I
said-
want to wear a pink beret. Can I do that? I just want to wear a pink beret. It would
As-
make me
Why not?
happy.
As long as you have 4 more costume changes.
Listen, I could have 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you should.
I think it would be fun. I went and did a photo shoot last night, and she goes,
fun.
"Okay." Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm like, she's like, "Okay, this is what you're wearing." Well, I have 4 other things in the car I was gonna bring in, and she
Yeah.
was like, "I'm like, have you not worked with gay men before?"
Well, any
I got
photographer,
anything you
costume
need.
changes.
I
Who was the
know.
photographer? Can you say?
I can if Hannah. I think Hannah. I feel like a horrible human because she's a beautiful. She does the magazine Beneath Your
Hera.
Beautiful.
You mean Hera Allison?
That's exactly what I said.
Hera.
You didn't hear it, but we'll edit that in post. Yeah, Hera Allison, the sweetest, kindest.
She's amazing.
Lovely
I've gotten to
person.
work with her, and she's
she's
someone that I
great.
admire and love.
She
very
has
much.
a wonderful podcast and then a wonderful magazine, and so I've been working with
Yes.
them. So yeah. So anyways, it's costumes changes.
You're basically a drag queen.
And basically,
Well, that's
it's
what
a-
I was picturing. I didn't- thank you for saying it.
Anybody in entertainment, that's what everybody is. I say media whore with pride because that's just what it is. You just put yourself out there. So we've been in great hands for how many years now? How long has Pride been going on in Spokane?
1992.
Woo! Woo! We won't talk about when I graduated from high school, but it was really close to that. But we've been in good hands since then, so I think we can safely say. I wanted to ask the questions for the people who were asking, but we're in good hands now.
No, I think
Continue.
so, and I think I've even been in touch with Coeur d'Alene Pride because they had their issues last year.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
wanted to make sure. You know,
Yeah.
we couldn't offer them anything because part of what I'd want to do with expanding the role of this organization is helping with smaller prides too.
That's
Right?
fantastic.
As well.
I think that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seed more
The-
rights.
Yeah, no, that's I want Pride to be like the 4th of July. I want it to be everywhere.
Yes.
I love that.
Speaking
Yeah.
of that, will there be fireworks?
I mean, oh no, we're not doing fireworks this year.
That was so fun, though.
It is beautiful,
It's
but
a lot.
Expensive or-
it's like $7,000 for 5 minutes, and
Unless someone wants to come forward and sponsor that.
I know.
Shout out.
Well,
sponsors.
there's also some people that object to it just as far as like, you know, pets
Animals.
and
Oh,
those
that's
and
with
also-
PTSD.
That's true.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I've
So-
talked
Good
to many
point.
veterans, and I forget. Yeah, that's one of the.
So
Someone
we're
needs to think
renting
of
we are renting more lights from our production
Cool.
company to like
Nice.
try to make the stage pop for our all ages dance party. at
Oh.
6 o'clock.
Awesome.
So
I love the radio voice you have, dude.
well,
All ages dance party.
I'm just trying to plug what I need to plug.
Do it. That is exactly what we're here for. Well, I have to say, Pride, I think, anybody that you mentioned Pride to, we all have our memories and our stories of how and what it did to impact us. And I want to talk about, like, Matt, even you were talking about the beginning, being 21, being in the bars and everything. We all remember that awakening and that feeling, and Pride was a way to solidify it. First time I went to Pride, I'm a little preacher's kid, so shy, and I go to Seattle, and I remember watching everybody do the march at the end to get to Volunteer Park, and my friends having me stand up on the cement wall so I could see the sea of people. And all I remember thinking is I was never allowed to believe that there were people who would accept me. And there's this sea of humans, and I'm a big old softie, and so it just made me cry.
Oh, I would have been bawling.
You know?
I'm about to cry right now.
No, my first Pride that I emceed in 2016, I was just, you know, I'd worked at the bars forever, so I was no stranger to the gay community, but like
Yeah.
just being on stage, just surrounded by this just group adulation was just such. This is like the most beautiful thing I'd ever done.
Right.
And then, you know, I found out that the Pulse shooting had happened like as that was
Oh,
happening.
yeah.
Which I woke up to that, and it was a really formative experience, which
For
is
real.
basically why I still do this stuff.
Yeah.
So
And I think that's very important to say. There are things that happen. I had to do a speech the very next day. There are things like that happen, sadly, many times. So when people tell me, why do you get up and do this stuff? Why aren't you afraid? Well, it's never because you're not at some point in the back of your head thinking. But at the same time, if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
Like, you don't just shut up.
That's what I realized. Like, we still have a ways to go as a culture, and nobody's going to do it for you.
Right,
Exactly.
We got to do this.
Yeah.
And
And fear, it just feeds into the hands of the people that want us to be quiet. You know what I mean? So you have to keep standing up and for those of us who aren't afraid to raise our voices need to stand up until those of us who don't feel strong enough can raise them with us.
And for those who can't anymore.
Thank you. Exactly. And I think this is this overall broader definition of what Pride, the event, means. It's more, we always get all of the, there isn't a straight Pride. Why do you need a gay Pride? All of the stupid that totally lessens what we're here doing.
Right.
And it's these conversations, and it's talking about why this is important. And in healing, your world is healing over here, Mama Ocean.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I can
It
feel
is-
it.
Yes, it's emanating from me, right?
Well, you've spent a lot of time in your life
I have.
trying to get into things and to learn things and to
Yeah.
share it with others. First of all, tell us why. Why is healing so important? And you give it away so lovely and lovingly to people.
So kind of you to say. It's innate, I feel like, in all of us. It's dormant in a lot of people, sadly. And so those of us that can share it and have open hearts and want to love on others and find their purpose early, which is to love on people and share love with the world, I believe. it makes it easier for others to shine your light. Like you say, it's like a not just a way of service, but it is, I feel an obligation to be a bright light for others and let people know, because I have been to hell and back.
Right?
Multiple times. I got the frequent flyer pass. I got the mileage. And so now they just are like, yeah, you can come and go. And so, yeah, it's
no one needs that pass.
such a
just
part
in
of my
case you
journey.
need
No.
someone to tell you. No one needs that pass.
I know that. I saw. Well, for some people, did you sign up for this before you enter?
Right.
That's what I say. I'm like, I checked all the boxes. I was
Right.
just like, I'm not sure how many more times I'll be on Earth, so let's just check
Right.
them all.
We're gonna do this.
So yeah, but it's been my joy, and now I look back on hardships that I've had, and it's also made me who I am, and so I can't imagine being any other way. So.
Right.
Thank you for recognizing me that way, though. That's
Of course.
really humbling. And thanks for having me here today.
Oh, our pleasure. I think so. Anytime someone finds out that I know you, the stories that come out of people, all it ever is love. And I'm like, well, that makes sense to me. I mean, perfectly. Tell me how you do feel, how you personally feel that healing in that path to healing that is not just a one-off. I mean, it's a journey.
It's a daily journey,
Yes.
absolutely.
How it fits into something that maybe sometimes as queer people maybe take it for granted that we have Pride every year.
I feel that we have sort of a duty. I mean, especially as being a member of a community, we are all in this together. And even though we're on individual paths and we are standing in our sovereign truth, whatever that may be, we need to be that person for someone else. So yes, you're on your own journey, and you're lighting yourself up and loving yourself and learning how to celebrate yourself is going to lend itself to wanting to celebrate others. And, I speak in frequency, so I didn't want to get too woo-woo, but to me, everything's frequency. So it's either high or low.
Yeah.
Keep it high frequency, and that's the love vibe, baby.
I love that. And in this room, in this space, be as authentic as you want to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because we don't shame nothing. It's everything needs to be lifted up and talked about. Is it church now? Did we make it to the
Yes,
to
or
church?
spiritual center.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yes.
I think Pride is almost like a gay secular church service.
Yes.
It is.
It's its own spiritual movement.
It is kind of spiritual in a weird way. I know that's so cheesy and so dumb, but
No, I
And
think it's
yet I
absolutely
think it's-
true.
yeah.
you'll feel it when you're up there. You will.
Yes.
Like you.
Right?
You totally will.
It'll be like reliving that moment in my first Seattle Pride and seeing the sea of people.
Only
Yeah,
probably times 1,000 because
Exactly.
you've seen this arc of your life.
Right.
Well, and you were speaking to this earlier too, Matt, that it's about energy. When
Mm-hmm.
you feel that up there and there's this tremendous energy exchange,
Yeah.
that's what it's about. And if we can habituate that to where that is life and not us fighting against a machine that
Right.
is this paradigm that's very low frequency, that's very fear-mongering, that's very,
Exactly.
no, we're going to put a kibosh on that.
Yeah.
You can't love who you want to. That's
Yeah.
just not...
Which is
It's not
really,
progress, and it's not part of the age of Aquarius, which we're now in.
Are we really?
Yes,
Can I
yes.
tell you that's also, this is for Matt, also a great show tune, by the way.
Was this
From Hair,
turning into all?
which is also a great show.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Right?
Everything can come
Good
back.
morning,
We'll have to
starshine.
put some show tunes in that playlist we're gonna make for the
Got
downtime.
so many ideas.
I love it. Well, this healing process, I think it is a natural. Also, I like this idea. You guys, Pride is always very inclusive.
Yes.
Which I think is because that's the whole point, and that's exactly if you can fracture a community, that's the easiest way to take them down. You
Yes.
separate, divide, and conquer, which is
Right.
what's happening all around the world. Just side note, anybody else super excited for some people getting their comeuppance, DeSantis and Trump?
I said at the beginning of the year, this is the year of cosmic dividends.
Right?
Karmic dividends, excuse me, and cosmic.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say,
It's the
same,
year of the
same.
rabbit. It's lucky. It's either lucky or it's unlucky, depending on
exactly.
what you've been doling out. So
And I'm telling you, I never thought I would see the day. I thought people could get away with whatever they wanted, it seemed like. But so what a beautiful, I'm just going to say, listen, people have earned what they've got.
that's right. It's their stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But it is even more of a reason for us to come together and say, we are going to celebrate every single part of our
Every
alphabet
victory.
soup.
Yeah.
We're going to, every one of us, it's the dancing, it's the express yourself.
If we stick
You- like
together,
you-
nobody can fuck with us.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Like,
Yeah. Just look at they just did the telethon for Drag Is Not Dangerous.
Oh, wow.
You know, and they're raising money, and they're going to continue to come back. The first night raised $500,000.
That's incredible.
And what they said time and again is we need to come together, and it is. And I think that the queer community kind of ebbs and flows at times. Right.
It undulates like the ocean.
Yeah, and when we need to come together, let's look at a little, bring it right there, full circle. When we need to come together, I will say we tend to find our way back. But there are moments. I remember my friend calling me when Trump was elected and saying to me, "I thought
And sobbing.
thought we were finally done. We could sit on the couch." And I'm like, and didn't a lot of us? But guess what? Now you're getting called back off that couch.
Yeah.
Like you just have to accept. Got it.
Right.
This is what's going on now. I wish I could have relaxed. We can't relax. You know, it is in relaxing we become apathetic and we forget to celebrate.
There's still progress
the things
to
we
be
need to
made.
do. Yeah, and so now we need to come together, and the community needs to come together again in all of our factions, and celebrate each other, because we can infight like the best of them.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, but we can put those aside.
Together we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah, and there's a call out to the country. There's 260 LGBT centers across the country that are joining forces. That's a big 260 LGBT centers. That's huge. It kind of makes me go, oh, I didn't know we had to officially come together. But listen, if this is like Voltron or whatever you need to do, what a beautiful thing that basically we're saying, okay, you want to do this again? You remember what happened last time? We're going to do this again.
We're doing it.
We know how to organize.
Exactly. And putting together something
Get
as
used to
big
it.
as Pride tells you that. Like last year, there were how many people that went to Spokane Pride?
We were over 50,000.
Wow.
So,
That's
you're
incredible.
telling me. Oh
So
my
it's
God.
this year will be double. And the other thing too,
No.
I wish.
maybe
Yes. You never know.
another victory is, I mean, look
ready
at how
for
we've
it.
progressed from just even last year, but the last 3 years,
Yeah.
our world looked very different. So I also feel that it's like this exhale after this really arduous time that we've had these last
Yes.
few
Oh,
years.
totally. There was some tension and there was some compression from COVID. And
Right.
then last year it was just the celebration coming out of it.
Yeah.
and
Oh, I know. I think it was
Awakening,
one of
and now
our...
it's like this exaltation of
Exactly.
Really,
and last
can
year
you
was
feel
one of our
that?
largest that we've had.
Oh, it was definitely. I mean, we've been growing by 50% every
I
year.
know.
That's
Isn't
why
that
I was saying
amazing?
100,000. I mean, it
See?
can happen.
It could happen.
I'm thinking we'll have. I'm not counting on 50% more this year, just because I mean we had the COVID compression, which really shot us up.
And you kind of want to keep your sanity, so you don't want to think
yeah,
it's
well,
going to be
It's
100,000.
like we can only have so many
I'm
porta
ready.
potties, Kay.
Yeah.
I'm ready though. We
Yeah.
rent. I mean, I was talking to our production company. I was telling them about all the places we're renting in the park. They're like, "Oh, so you're like pig out now?" I'm like,
That's what I was picturing.
I'm like,
yeah.
no,
That got
no.
crazy, That's not it.
We're not there yet, but I mean, we're getting close.
I think we're going to be really close. So I would say there's always some growth, even if it's not 50%, that I just tell my mind there's going to be 60,000 people at least there.
I'm thinking
this
so.
year.
I'm
yeah.
thinking so.
Yeah.
Especially, it's going to be better laid out this year. And
Yeah.
Last year there were some issues with that, and it's just
Better
gonna be
flow, better feng
a
shui.
lot better flow, and there's just going to be drag queens on stages everywhere.
Awesome.
And
love.
this bitch will be on the main stage.
Hell
screaming,
yeah.
And
This bitch will.
it'll be
It'll be
going to be
fun.
beautiful, even though.
Oh, I mean, I think it will be beautiful as long as we surrender to, we know what it is. What people who are involved know what they're doing. You know, they got, so it's gonna be, I'm gonna sick her on you. So she will get you knowing, sing your praises. The thing is, I think it is going to be what it needs to be. That's basically how I have a friend who always says, Jonathan, the room's already laid out. Just step into it.
Right.
And I'm a
It's
control
perfect
freak.
however it is.
Yeah, I'm a control freak, but I'm learning to be like, you know what? It's going to be amazing. And it's going, because the work's been put in, the effort, you know, we did our part. The universe in my mind is going to bring the other part, and then it's going to be,
No,
I'm excited.
That's how it is. I mean, I've seen several iterations of this board. I'm on Go Wrong just because somebody has a way too precise idea. Lots of big
Yeah.
personalities have a specific idea of how Pride
Yeah.
should be. And I'm like, no, Pride is going to be what it's going to be.
Right.
Even somebody was taking credit for some of this growth. And I'm
Oh.
like,
Oh, wow.
it's not. No, that's not it. It's the community that's changing. It's the culture that's changing.
Exactly.
It's us that's just giving it like a receptacle to go in.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's just glorious, just watching it happen the way it happens.
Right. And that is exactly right. It is that moment where you must put ego aside and you become
That's what I was
part
going to
of
say.
the
Yeah.
It's bigger
In an
than
endeavor
you.
like this, check your ego
Yeah,
at the door.
because it can be.
It almost needs to be stated sometimes, sadly.
I know. I have a
But
sign in my office that
good.
says, "Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into my
Yes,
space."
I have that at my home. Two of
Yes,
them.
and it's the same thing. And what's great is when you do have a number of people that you feel celebrated, supported, and working in the camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
God, I really think this is going to be such an amazing year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to be the best.
See, and this is the one thing I was telling people. So I've known you for a few years, and I said the one thing you'll never forget about Matt is his energy, his positive energy, I love that.
aura.
That when a leader exudes that,
Yes.
then it has to go down and inspire and become part of the group you're
That
working
light
with.
attracts
Yeah.
light.
Exactly. So that's
More
what
of
got
the
me
good stuff.
excited. I was like, we talked a little bit once when I was over at 9, and we talked a little bit before that, and it's there. I'm excited. You've worked your rear end off, and you will for the next, little bit.
It's gonna be a battle for the next month and a half.
Yeah.
But
How in the heck do you? So this is
I hope that you get some good sleep.
exactly.
probably won't, but it'll be. That's why I was gonna make May being Mental Health Month. I'm like, I'm not gonna have a good month that way. But
I'm not a doctor and can't prescribe anything, but I may be able to make some recommendations based
Right.
off of what you're working
Right.
through. So
Well, and the thing is, it's one of the things I always find is I'm project oriented, but I'm not good at balancing, and I need it in my life, balancing, project and relationship?
Oh,
What? It's
are
one or the
boundaries?
other, right?
Boundaries aren't. Yeah. They're
that
not
must
allowed
be,
this time of
you
year.
need a very patient and understanding and supportive partner.
Oh yes.
and
yes.
a plan. Your self-care needs to be part of that
Yeah.
plan. Matt needs a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Oh, and I actually do that, and that's what I actually. So most of my board is new. We often have a lot of turnover because it's, as I said, it's all volunteer, so
Yeah.
not
Right.
a lot of incentive to do it. But other than the incredible thing you're doing and the meaning
Right.
you get out of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
but
the passion.
But we've been working on stuff so early, so quickly, and I'm like, hey, everybody, take a deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
We still got a month and a half.
Exactly.
Now we got just over a month. Like
Yeah.
this hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
But
gonna
when
get
it's
real.
go time,
Yeah.
Like,
And
we-
remember,
We're gonna
save
need all
some,
hands on deck.
Save some for the home stretch.
exactly. And remember, take time to remember what it feels like to be, because we've all been to Pride before. The board is you have to. I remember. So I had to do that. I try to be very check in with myself, and started Monday. So I was at the top of the mountain of anxiety, and I was like, I cannot function here, and I have to stop. And I think this can help a lot of people. You stop, you breathe, and you remind yourself how lucky you are for
Yeah.
the things that you have.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
always
I had to tell
gratitude,
myself,
always.
Oh,
people
yeah.
don't get to do the crazy shit that I just create out of nowhere, and I partner with people, and you get to do great things. So you know what? Quit your bitching. That's what I tell myself all the time. Breathe. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great. You're going to have fun. And that's what I feel like. You have to remember where it's going. You have to remember. And then, I mean, just the fact that they have a leader that tells them to breathe is half the battle, because a lot of times we do not have those people at key positions in our world. You know what I mean?
Or just what I do. God, my social media person, Rose, was showing. She's been really good about posting pictures of past prides, and we're sitting there. I'm like nerding out on this map of Riverfront Park, and then she's showing me these beautiful pictures of the people. I'm like, oh, that's what this is. This
Right?
is meaningful. This is like, this park's going to be full of people having like one of the best days of the year.
Exactly.
And that's what this is. And because sometimes you get lost in the weeds and lose perspective.
Oh,
It's a
So
holiday.
easily.
It's a holiday.
It
is
is
it Rose that
exactly.
I'm thinking that's been involved for a long time?
She's very young, so
Okay,
maybe.
so no.
Yeah. She's very good with the social media because she's
Excellent.
22.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah, I was gonna
savvy.
say young would have to be young. Yeah,
Savvy.
yeah.
I was telling Kurt they
Yeah.
got themselves a 22-year-old too. It's like
I
what?
mean,
Everybody needs a 20. Oh,
Thank
no, I'm not
you.
going to say that.
That's
I
a different
mean,
podcast.
that's actually it's sort of the same podcast.
My
but
boyfriend's 30.
just not the show. Smart. Yeah. I'm like, you know what? There comes a time. Yeah, Daniel, I want you to listen closely, sir. We don't do ageism here. We don't do ages.
No.
I celebrate you. You celebrate me. Because sometimes he's like, what did you say? I'm like, yeah, I've been around a while. I have a dirty mind. That's just what happened. Not to you, but when we're out having meetings. But I'm like, we don't tell people older than 30 that they can't still be alive. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, because God willing, you'll make it there.
Thank you.
Even when you're younger.
Yeah, and then you'll call me. Then you're, Jonathan, we need to talk.
I was always so fascinated with people older than me, and had many friends that were older.
Oh,
so
me too.
now
did
that
the
I'm
same
there, I
thing.
love it, and I've earned every one of my years. I'm proud to say I'm 53.
Hallelujah. I always say, you
Grateful
this
I
gray
made it.
hair earned every bit of it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
No, I love talking to older people in the community,
Yeah,
especially
for
because it
certain.
was such a different world
Yes,
back then.
mad
and it
respect.
really puts into perspective like how quickly this whole thing has happened.
It really
Yeah.
has.
Like people just 20 years older, like
Yeah.
oh my God, like I think because I have some trauma from this shit, but
Right.
it's on a different level with the AIDS crisis. And,
Oh, yeah.
and just the general culture of the time. I mean, just reminds you what this is all about again.
True. And that brings up a thing that I was going to ask you. What is it? So, you know how, like, you obviously have found a positive light in it. You've been through, like you said, hell and back, and you found that part
Few
of your
times.
spirit. I choose to find those parts of my spirit.
Always.
But I do know the back of my mind how easy it would have been to have been like, I'm going to get bitter and pissed off. And
Oh yeah.
what is it that makes someone able to make this choice over here and not let it consume the world? You know what I mean?
Well, resilience, and though it's a practice. So when you were speaking to gratitude, I do a gratitude practice now where I every single day, and I think for mental health awareness, just for yourself personally,
Yeah.
if you can focus on the things that you're grateful for every day. It's like, quick, what are 3 things you're grateful for? It literally takes you out of it and raises your vibration and your frequency, so you're not mired in that. You know, we're preconditioned in our culture. Is very unhealthy. I mean, it's I mean, the fear mongering, and I don't even need to tell you guys here, but it's bad. And so we have to work against that to raise our frequency. And so gratitude is one of the biggest ways. And then also, like you were saying, celebrating yourself and the self-care thing. Anymore, to me, in our world today, it is not a luxury. Self-care is a requirement.
Thank you.
Because I know as an event coordinator myself,
Yeah.
not on the level of Pride, however, I got to do some red carpet events and
Yeah.
some amazing things with Bozzy Media and what have you.
Yes.
I always tried to build in self-care for myself because I knew I have to make sure that I'm rested, that
Yeah.
I've got hydration, and then in taking care of myself, also all volunteers.
Exactly.
And because you've got to make sure that you're
Well, you know, Matt,
gonna
you're
be still
talking about this older generation that, you know, there's been through the years, and that, I mean, there's some major trauma that each of us goes through, not only as an part of the queer community, but just being a human.
Right.
It has these
just being alive on
moments,
the planet Earth.
and yet, you know, I care for those who that is not, you know, they let it get them, because it breaks my heart that that's where they went. But like, where do you find that resilience to go, okay, I could be a total asshole with my life, or I can try to be better for myself, be positive?
Well, I mean, Pride's the most difficult, craziest thing I do all year, but it's also like, and it hemorrhages my mental health in a way, but it also like heals me at the same time. It's like incredibly meaningful, and I don't think a lot of people have something like that.
Right.
And like something just way bigger than you, something that's genuinely important. Like
Yes.
and collective, you know, I don't know. I just feel like we're cut off from community in general, and Pride is like a big, it's just how we collectively heal that, you know, collective trauma we have.
It's
from-
true. I mean, how do we? So in your, you work a lot with people, with healing and with the different things that you do in your
All kinds.
in your world. Yes, exactly. How? What do you think it is? Is there? I think we all have access to that mechanism. I think some of us probably have to work, but it's there. If we want it,
It
you
is
can-
work. I
you
think
can- yes, you
everybody's
can do
gotta
it.
work. It's a
But what
choice,
do you
though.
think it is about that for some people they find it and they access it, and it's like you, like Matt?
Being curious, staying curious and not giving up, and just know, I mean, when you can, like, I go back to gratitude, when you realize that this life is a gift, and how can you turn it around? Because there can always be a better day. And I mean, I've had many people, and I don't want to do any trigger warnings here, but lost, as I say now, actually returned. I say returned people instead of lost
Oh,
them.
wow.
It
I
feels
like
better
that.
energetically.
Yeah.
You know, I just being curious and seeking. You know, I got into therapy many years ago myself, have been on a healing journey, but many of the clients that I see now, because I do Reiki. I'm
Yes.
a certified Karuna Reiki master now, and I also do light and sound therapy. I work in the Akashic realm, so a lot of woo-woo, as some people call it. To me, it's just life, but it's so many people are on a path right now, like a fast track to healing, because they're like, they can feel that there's a quickening happening. The quicker that I can get to heal myself, I'll feel connected and find my life's purpose.
Right.
And so,
and if we think about it, it's like that old cliche where people say forgiveness is more for the forgiver
right.
than it is for the person being
Absolutely.
forgiven.
Oh, yeah.
I think of it the same way.
Yeah.
We can be miserable.
Yeah.
And a lot of us have reasons that we could do that.
Yeah.
But we're only punishing ourselves in this.
And I mean, it's really hard to be active in the community. Sometimes there's a lot of toxicity that tries to like make you want to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
But I have to tell myself so often that it's hurting people.
Right.
And like, this is why we're doing this.
Change your perspective.
Like we need, like we're all hurting. And
Exactly.
I know it's so cheesy, but it's,
I was going to suggest that though, and volunteering. You're giving people an outlet to join in. It's like, yes, you can come in and just attend, which isn't a small thing.
Yeah.
But to volunteer as well, you feel like you have a
I'd prefer to
purpose.
work an event anyway.
Right,
Yeah,
right. That is your world.
I work
yeah.
at bar. I don't know how to attend events and mingle. I've been working at bars for 15 years.
Yeah.
Right.
and doing
You've been
events.
DJing and everything. I mean, that's that
It's
whole
just
service.
easier when you have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I always think about, because I was talking to someone today, that there's that dichotomy, and I think we all have it to some extent, where I'm an introverted extrovert.
Right.
And it's
Me too.
because
Me too.
the things
Me too.
yes,
Ambivert.
right?
Ambivert.
Because the work is important to me. So I'm going to make sure I show up for that work, but I also understand I'm going to need to find ways to make it okay for me to breathe, because I want to continue to work in the community. And I have to say, you have to get to a point. For a long time in Spokane, because I've been here off and on since I was 23, for a long time I would hide from my own community, from the queer people, because I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel, because I only allowed myself a very narrow view of what queer was. And then as you get older, you're like, what the fuck? No, you know what I mean? There's so much. The rainbow is a cliche for a reason, because it's a truth we keep saying over and over again. And it is in understanding, no, I have a right to be here. They didn't tell me I couldn't be here. So why am I stealing these things from myself? Which is why it's so important to celebrate these moments, to celebrate when the world gets scary and they're trying to erase us in states right beside us and, all over. It's even more important to celebrate who we are. I look at, I know, problematic or whatever, Dylan Mulvaney, I look at her, what she's been through, and I'm like, fucking assholes, leave her alone.
Well, and how she continues to show up and give grace.
Yeah.
Give grace even in the face
That's
of this.
the thing. I mean, we have to build grace in for ourselves and build grace, because sometimes the world is built to tear you apart. So what are you going to do about it?
Well, I think this resistance is just going to bring us together and make us
Yes.
more powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we almost got, apathetic after
That is
marriage
exactly right.
equality. And it's like, no,
Right.
this
Because
is
we were so like, oh, finally.
Like I said, the journey continues.
done.
Exactly.
No.
And I think it's why, I mean, even looking at what happened with women's reproductive rights, 50 years we were good. That makes you, that would make you go, okay, we got a ways to go, but this is solid. And then it's not solid. And you're like, what the just happened?
This is going to bring us together in a way. I think at least that's what I tell myself at night.
Do.
Yes,
and
it will.
continue to tell it,
That's
to not
great,
only
though.
to yourself, to everybody else, because I just remember how the community gelled before we had marriage equality, how people just kept coming together and telling their stories and,
Well, and how we
marching in the streets.
We
and
had 5 gay bars at one point. You know?
no,
Yeah,
I
I
know.
But that's a
remember.
whole different
I
conversation.
know. That isn't, we'll talk about that.
It's a fun decade.
There's a new lesbian bar up in the Garland District for anybody. Just
Oh.
wanted to say that. They
Oh, I
just
know.
opened.
Can you say?
Garland Drinker.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I know. I play. One of the owners plays with my band sometimes.
I think that's
Oh,
amazing,
wow.
because all I kept thinking was, yes, we are running out of gay bars in this town, but at the same
Not
time,
anymore.
how long has it been since we've had a lesbian bar? Like, we forget about that. I remember the Dusty Rose in Seattle was there forever.
yeah.
But,
It's not there
I thought
anymore.
it was the Wild Rose.
maybe it was. Someone
The wild
had,
Dusty
the wild
Rose.
Dusty Rose. Listen,
It
no one
was
said-
wild and then it
something-
became dusty.
Something very gay.
It was very, yes,
very
very
gay.
gay. Do you remember Betty White and her Dusty Muffin? I'm just saying.
Oh,
it's
right.
the same.
Yeah,
it's the same.
absolutely. That was fantastic.
I love it. But these are
R.I.P.
the
Betty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Rose.
love that woman.
And St.
So
Olaf.
to each, I love all St. Olaf stories.
Mm-hmm.
I love me some Rose. I've been watching Mama's Family, which Betty White was
Oh,
on as well.
that's
with.
right.
Yeah, so it's just so much fun. Because I can be snarky. I love to celebrate people, but I get snarky. I admit it. You were
You?
mentioning the quickening, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I have a sign called the fuckening.
Oh,
It's coming,
right,
and
I've
that's when
seen
it gets
that. I love
really
it.
bad. So you have a fuckening. But I want to ask you
That's
both
so
a
funny.
question. I love it so
Yeah.
much. Like, give me some.
Here it comes.
Yeah, some inappropriate humor. But I want to ask you each the same question, which is why, and just to you, it's whatever it means to you. It's not about an overall, we keep it in this community or whatever, but why is celebrating ourselves? Why is that important? Why does it matter? Why does it matter that we have this Pride event when, for all of these other Pride events we should do? Why?
To me, it's because this life that we're given is so spectacular, and it is finite. You have a finite number of days that you're here.
Exactly.
Make them count.
It's a true
That's
statement.
beautiful. That's a more positive version of what I'm going to say.
Oh, I can't
Same
wait.
thing.
Bring it.
Because I just think everybody kind of, even like straight people, like everybody kind of has a reason to hate themselves. And,
Oh, yeah. And the world will give you
and
a
we-
million suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, I think social media and just like constantly comparing ourselves, like honestly, I know this is a little bit out there, but I think Pride's kind of for everybody as long as you're not an
Thank you.
asshole.
I agree.
Because
yes.
allies exist there
Yeah,
too.
no,
It's
I
for
think
everybody to
that's-
accept everyone.
I'm
Yeah.
serious.
right.
I think Pride's going to be as big as the 4th of July in 50 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh, which
less
would
time.
be
Less
amazing.
time.
Yeah, I think so too. But
Right. See, I'm with
I
you.
love
and
that you're
that's
setting the
kind.
intention.
No.
It's all about. That's the other
honestly,
thing too.
I want this to be what I do with
Exactly.
my life. So
Yeah, it is what you're doing with your life.
So-
It's your
That gives me
dharmic
chills.
purpose.
I absolutely love that. The other thing I love about doing the show is you get to learn different layers of someone that you've known for years. You get to hear the deep things. It just makes. I'm a lover. I love you people. So celebration. I think this is what I want to say to anybody. It doesn't have to be our Spokane listeners. To anybody who wants to know. First of all, here's my snarky comment. You do have fucking straight pride. It's called Mardi Gras. So just it's just because all you can see is this narrow version. But I want to say to everybody, I remember how important it was for me as just out of the closet. My family had thrown me out. I was living in my car. And to have the experience of being celebrated and to celebrate who I was, I have never felt more empowered as a human. So this is what I tell you, no matter what age you are, and I don't fucking care, maybe you have a right. I don't care if you're 62 or if you're 18 or younger and you are dealing with this and you need a moment in time where you get to remember why it's okay to be exactly who you are and why you can be excited about that and you can dance and express yourself. It's called Pride. We're lucky in Spokane that we have such a big turnout and such a big, but it didn't start there. I remember when I was 20 years old coming to a Pride in Spokane, and I remember marching
Small.
along Washington Street because we took our P flag and we were marching. It was tiny, but it was something, and it still did something for us because we're from Wenatchee and we didn't have Pride in Wenatchee. Yeah,
I think there is a Wenatchee Pride now.
now there is,
Yeah, now there
which
is.
I love.
Yeah.
But I remember I opened the first gay queer coffee shop there with a beautiful friend of mine, and I remember the windows being broken. I remember all of the ugly, but I remember all of the beautiful.
Yeah.
All of the people who came, and there is people reference time by using the name. It was called the Breakwater, by using the name of the Breakwater. This is why events like this are important. So if you just need a moment, if you're going through a lot of shit right now and you need to remind yourself, I don't care what you have to tell the people giving you shit, get out there. Because this is a safe space for
And you'll make
everyone.
connections that could
So many.
last lifetimes, and literally just one person can make a
Exactly.
difference. And when you've got 50,000 plus
I know,
like-minded
right?
people,
Exactly.
it's going to be amazing.
Daniel, the intern, I want to throw to you because you just went to your first Pride last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, where was it?
Spokane.
Oh, it was Spokane.
was
So
Spokane Pride.
what was the first, and what are you hoping for this experience?
I think my first Pride, I was terrified because I was still living with my parents at the time. I wanted to go with them, and they didn't want to go, so I found some people that wanted to go with me. And when I first saw it, I go, wow, I come from a small town, seeing, I guess, this rainbow of people, basically. It's magical. And when I moved to Spokane, I was, by myself, didn't know anyone. And then I met you guys, and it's just amazing. And now this year I'm going, I'm planning my outfit, spending $200 on an outfit,
Nice.
getting my hair done. Last year I went like this and stayed in the corner the whole time. And,
You came to the wrong team for that to happen.
He didn't feel festive enough. This year he's going all out.
see, last year I went not knowing what to expect. And I think this year I am embracing what not to expect. I'm embracing the people of our rainbow,
I think that's beautiful. And this
It
is
is
what I
beautiful.
want to say to the young people. Do experience it like you've talked about, but I want to say it to the 67-year-old who maybe hasn't felt loved, hasn't felt like he had a place. Guess what? You have a place. And so come to Pride and find that again. That's what I want to say. And as we, I could talk about this forever. It just gives me chills.
Can I also
Yes.
piggyback on that, what
Yes.
you said, Daniel? I was thinking of sharing that, how we are all each a rainbow. And really, we experience a full spectrum of emotions.
Yeah.
And that's what really is about celebrating is, life's hard and there's difficult things in life. And that's why it's so important to celebrate why we're here, which is loving,
Exactly.
connection, community, and togetherness.
So true. Yeah, so true. And allow yourself, this is something I was telling someone today. If I could talk, they want to know, what can, that cliche, what would you tell your younger self? I would tell my younger self to keep your vulnerability and allow people in. It gets easier to shut them down as we get older, and we steal. You were talking about comparison. Comparison is a thief
Right.
of joy,
Yes.
which is my favorite quote, because we have to be reminded, don't spend my life comparing, just be
There's
who you are.
the line in the Desiderata, do not compare yourself to others, for there will always be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. So.
And I also love that everybody in this room understands that connection to the larger why, which you were talking to, Matt, because it is what sets that vibration higher. So as we close, I'm going to ask, give me one word. When someone says pride to you, what is one word that comes to your mind?
Passion.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know if this is a good one for me right now. Anxiety.
Oh,
That's your
Pressure.
personal.
right.
Not the overarching theme.
But July, it'll be like meaning and healing.
See, I love that very much.
After I'm through the, all the craziness.
And you know what? That's why people like us, we're around you. Me and Mama Ocean got you. You're
It's
going
a
to do
full
great.
spectrum celebration.
No, we're gonna get that. It's crazy how everyone I get so stressed about things, and then I'm like,
It always works out.
I'm worried about who's gonna help me MC the main stage. Let's ask you. He's all about it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about this detail. I find somebody there's people in all corners of the community that are just like popping up to just help
Yes,
me do
Exactly.
things.
good.
And that is exactly how it happens.
And hopefully you will have more than 100
no,
volunteers sign
we-
on.
I have no
after
doubt
this
you're going to
podcast.
get
Definitely
all of
will.
your, it's going to all come down.
Oh, I also wanted to mention one note.
Yes.
So if you want to get really in the mood for Pride,
Ooh.
we're remember Coeur d'Alene Pride is June 3rd as well.
Yes.
A week before.
So yes, the Saturday before, I think it starts at 10 o'clock in the park,
Yeah.
and we're it's immediately followed by the Pride Cruise. We're bringing the Pride Cruise back.
Awesome.
Which is so, is amazing.
So I've actually never spent that much time at Coeur d'Alene Pride, but
The cruise, we all
Well,
love
I've
going there
done
for
the-
that.
oh,
But the pride itself.
I usually take my shirt off and get on a microphone and yell.
Nice. And paint your
That's
chest.
exactly how it should be done.
Can you do 2 boats? I bet you could fill 2 boats this
We'll
year.
see. We'll see how many tickets we sell. So go
'Cause
buy
it's-
your tickets.
Are they're on sale now, correct?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it's on sale now, and people just know you want some urgency. It will sell out,
It
so
will
get your
sell
tickets
out.
now.
Yeah.
And also, I've been in touch with Coeur d'Alene Pride, and they asked for MC help, and I was like,
Nice.
I told them, I also mentioned you. Don't get me wrong.
I appreciate
there we
that.
Because I
go.
felt
appreciate
really
that.
weird offering myself, but
Why not?
But then at the same time, I'm like, if I were them, I would want to know that that was kind of my thing and how I got into it.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna MC Coeur d'Alene Pride now. So.
Good. I was gonna say, ain't no shame in supporting and
It-
promoting
it
and
still
cheering
felt-
yourself
it still
on.
felt weird, but I'm like,
I'm glad you did it.
I can do that. I think. I
Yes,
hope.
you can.
So I'll be really, really ready for Pride this year.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad you're
It'll
doing
be
it.
like
And
a
that'll-
rehearsal.
Yeah.
That'll put you in the
it will
mood.
be.
Exactly. That'll get you humped.
Dress
Listen,
rehearsal.
We support you here. We want you to do.
I
these
support you
Thanks,
always
baby.
things.
in life. I
Isn't
didn't
that
think I
deep?
could love you more.
Oh, you.
Right.
Yeah,
The people in
Truly.
this room, I gotta say,
so much love.
And that's how it should be. I always say love is my religion. I would say for
Yes.
me, when I hear the word pride, I think of love and power. There's such immense power in love, not in all this fear and hate.
No.
It's all in love. And that's what, Spokane, you have the chance to participate in. Come out. If you feel like, oh, I don't have a crew that I can go with, who cares?
You have a crew when you get down there.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? You can come say hi at the main stage. You can come say hi anywhere. There's plenty of people who are there for you. So I would encourage you all, if you feel like maybe your in is to volunteer, guess what? You can volunteer.
SpokanePride.org/volunteer.
Exactly. These are important things. So if you need to give yourself a reason to show up, which
Right.
sometimes I have to
Accountability,
do for myself.
right.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
a
I'm like, I'm
free
not going to
shirt
feel
and
it.
gift bag.
I was gonna
See?
say,
It's there waiting for you.
winning.
Gotta say,
Show me
even
how
if
it gets
your
better.
excuse is the food. I mean,
I
just
know.
come
Oh,
on
and
down.
free
something.
food too. But, you
There's
know.
something for everyone at
food,
this thing.
music, fun, and
Exactly.
love heals
Free
all.
sunburns.
We also tempt people, volunteers, with T-shirts and baggies.
And
I'm like,
snacks.
it's that what successful people do. But I have to say, thank you for bringing us back in. I mean, we weren't gone that long, but even a week off makes me feel like, oh my God, can't do that. So thank you for being my guest today. This was a very uplifting show.
Thank you for having
you.
me.
I'm so glad you guys were. Remember, you can go to our website, thequeercentric.com, where you can get more information, and we will be putting up more ways and links for you to be involved, not just now, but all throughout the year. So please do that. Remember to follow our socials, and remember that the show drops every Tuesday. And we know you're waiting, and you're going to have video again. Hello. Everybody has their camera, and you're going to have, if you're in the car and you just want to listen to it by podcast, by audio, you can do that too. Because we do this every single day. Not because it's making me rich, because it ain't. But you know what? It's-
Spiritually wealthy.
Yes, exactly. Because
Where
we're
it
doing
counts.
it because this is important. All the time, but now more than ever. So until next time, everybody. Bye.
Peace out.